Good morning, grasshoppers. It is a wonderful morning. My daughter started following me on Instagram. I knew that them social media applications would come in handy someday. Anyway, as you see, well, let's see, can you? Yeah. Back there's my my camp, and that is the front of the big pile of sand and dirt that I'm going through. And you might say, Dan, that's a lot of dirt. I would have to agree with you, but that's the amount of dirt they took out of the Colorado River last year. It was just all piled up here, and then they leveled it off for the UTVers. Anyway, man, they have some awesome UTVs out there. They're like bottle rockets now. Anyway, so I thought I'd take you down with me to go to Taylor Ferry, and it's just right up here on the road. I discovered it after my 6-hour walk last spot because I had to burn off a little bit of steam, so I went out and got lost and walked around kind of up north here. I finally said I gotta find myself out, get out of here. So I had to get up on one of the plateaus there and find out where the river was and point myself to it. And I came up way short, but I found this Taylor Ferry, and I did. Oh shoot! I should have read about the history there, but maybe I'll add it to the end of the little clip here. Look at me, I'm just using all the buzzwords, ain't I? So anyway, I'm just in a really happy mood because of Bridget and because of Yah, who melted her heart, I guess. So anyway, this is the road up to Levy Road, and wow, there's a nice one. It's a little old, but it's a nice one. That is my first campground right there. Here you go. There's the river. There's the campground. There's the river. And then down that where that guy is pointing, you can actually drive down, and at the end of it is right next to the cattle guard, and that's where my friend Blake from Kansas. Oh boy, is he's a talker. When I saw him, when I came, and I saw that he came back, I don't know, it was about a week and a half ago maybe, and I stopped down in there and said hello. We shake hands and everything, and said hello to his dogs, and he's got a really awesome off-road trailer, like a teardrop kind of thing, but it's a stand-up. You can get inside with a pop top. Anyway, so he's from Kansas, and he was here last year, and met him right before I left to go north. And I said, hey man, come on back down here next year and we'll see each other. So he did. So now he's free because he went and sold his his house in Kansas, and so now he's down here permanently, I think. Nobody's really permanent, but that's back looking up the road, and you can see way down there on the edge of the road there's a little shadow. That's the cattle crossing. Of course, there's no cows out here. What they're doing is keeping the donkeys out of the grass. But you see them donkeys are smart, man. Every now and then you can see them. Now last year, where I'm going, it's actually marked on the map. You can look it up. Just look at the Cibola, Arizona, Colorado River area, and you'll see Taylor's Ferry is like a landmark. And well, it's not much of a landmark now, but you're gonna see here in just a second. And yeah, I had to walk all this way once I found my way out of the bush. Because it's like this all over, back up in those washes. You can't see where you're at, but you can see the mountains. So I know the mountains, so that led me to be able to know which way I was going. Anyway, so we're gonna go up here and pass all the edible plants and the unedible plants. See, there's the edible right on the edge of the road there. So we're going up here now, and we got to go down through this wash. Now here's another one of my favorite campsites, right there. I come down here and spend some time. Did last year, metal detecting all this area. Didn't find much, but and there's another spot right there. And but this spot is really cool because it's on kind of like this knoll overlooking the river, but it's also overlooking this wash, and people go down into the wash, and then they set up camp down there, and then they blast their darn see, there's the wash, and that's what they took out. You see where that caution sign is? They took out sand probably about 20 feet in front of that, and then dug it all out and left like a 3-foot little kind of like drop off right there. And they hadn't done it in like a long time. Some guy that I talked to about it, he said that they had never seen it. He had been out here from 1982. There's another spot right here. Good spot. But being close to this road, you get a lot of traffic from the boys with their UTVs and girls with their UTVs and ATVs and just basically anything. And this is a plateau parking up here. But let's see. Oh, there it is. Almost went past it. See? All year I was going past this thing and saying, "Oh man, I never really thought about like looking at it, looking for it, like as if it were any kind of monument to go look at." But then I saw this is where I came out on my walk. 6 hours. Just had a lot of steam. I wasn't laughing like I am now. Anyway, here you go. Taylor Ferry. Now, what that means, see, I came in right on that path right there and came down right. No, actually, I came down this one because I was up on that plateau seeing where the heck I was. And I came walking down here, and then I saw this. And that's incredible. So anyway, we are going to get out here and do a little metal detecting. We'll see how that goes. Now I'm just gonna park here and then take you on a little bit of trip to go see, the pagans. Because the pagans have to put their name on everything. Because ain't gonna be around for 100 years. But maybe my name on that wall might be, with the spray paint. And somebody will remember me. That's about as pagan as you can get. Anyway, let's see. Take you around here. All right, nice and sunny, so you might just Might get some glare there. I really don't care. And anyway, don't care for the glare. Yeah, so here you go. Here you go. Like I said, I didn't get the history for this place, but you know, evidently it was used as some kind of ferry stop. That was probably the saloon. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to go in there either. But anyway, might be a lot of trash outside here. But you never know. You never know. I don't remember when they built it either. But, you know, because I didn't look up the history. Darn it. I thought about doing it too. But yeah, there you go. Now this is kind of interesting because if you look at that figure, you see the head and the arms outstretched like that, and then the legs coming down. That's hay. Not hay as in grass. Hay as in het, which is the 5th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Alpha. Bait. So anyway. Yeah, this is Taylor's Ferry. I think that's the bathroom right there. Kind of makes sense. Maybe this was the area. I don't know what they. Oh, those are. Those look like maybe they had some kind of heating thing in them. I don't know, but yeah, that certainly looks like the bathroom. Oh, how appropriate for that name. Now I know the pagans were here, and you know that name in the bathroom. How appropriate. That cracks me up. Oh man. I was thinking about something last night too, which I was just howling. Gosh, what was it? Anyway. I just laugh a lot, you know. When you're all alone, you got to think of ways to entertain yourself, and especially if you don't want to have anything to do with these pagan practices anymore. You got to be able to do something. And well, there you go. A plus I. I thought I might say A plus I equals death. Interesting how these things are up there. Oh my. You see the volleyball player? That's upside down. Yod, I think. That's interesting. It's interesting how all these symbols go around. But these tiny dugout things are really, really interesting because they don't, I don't know, shelves probably. Shelves, maybe that's the pantry. That was maybe the kitchen. And then this place over here was saloon, or maybe, I don't know, quarters for the people. But this one certainly, that right there, that is the fireplace, or more than likely. And so anyway, just thought I'd show you and give you a view of the truck, give you a view of the valley. And this is just a general area where, you know, everybody came and I guess waited to get over the Colorado River. And it's really odd too why they're so far back. But I think, like, the ferry was above the river, like, because you could see these, what do they call them? Bulwarks or something? I don't remember the name. But they're like where the bridge sits. But I don't think it was a bridge. It could have been just a cable going across, carrying people and stuff, you know. But they needed a ferry to get across, and this is it. So, all right, now, you grasshoppers have a good day. I'm going to get to doing some metal detecting, see if this place is going to be too trashy or if it's going to have something of interest. I'm hoping the last, the latter. I don't want to do too much digging, you know, but it's kind of what you do when you metal detect, you know, because the good stuff's down in the dirt. There's nothing on the surface that's any good, you know, mainly trash like that. But yeah, so very interesting. I guess this over here is kind of a pseudo wash. Oh, this is interesting. There's another wall down here. That's very interesting. And how that grass grows. I'm sure it's short because of the donkeys, and the donkeys know exactly where that grass is. And I'm sure the donkeys know exactly when they can come back and clip it off again and have a meal. So there's probably a lot of donkey activity. I don't see any hoof prints, but it's rained. It rained yesterday and a couple days before, and you can see how the dirt is just sprinkled. You know, I've spent less time on asphalt than I have on dirt in the last year. Well, since last two Novembers ago. Oh, shouldn't have said that word. 2 11th months ago, according to the pagans. But anyway, yeah, that's just kind of interesting. And that is a mesquite tree, I believe. A couple of them. That might be one over there too, and I'm not sure if that one is. But the mesquite trees, I think that one's mesquite right there. They have really dark bark. That's how you can kind of tell them apart. They grow pods. And see, this one isn't. This is like, oh man, I can't remember the name of this one. But yeah, nothing edible. And the mesquite, they will produce pods, and they're kind of like bean pods. In fact, they are bean pods, and but the fruit inside of them is like a bean, but they'll come out on the tree, and then you got like only a couple of weeks or 3-4 weeks or something like that. Not even that much, I think. Like 2 to 3 weeks to pick them, because when they get ready to fall, because you can't eat them once they hit the ground, because the ground almost immediately starts making a mold on it. So the donkeys can eat them from off the ground, because they got stomachs that must be like steel. But they eat anything. Well, just about anything green. Well, they love carrots too, and apples that I bring them. But yeah, so you get the pods off of this, and you dry them out, keep them off the ground, dry them out, open them up, and get rid of the husk, and then you use the beans you grind them up into a powder, and it's, it's mesquite bread. So you can make cakes out of them, little cakes. Just as long as you're not making them to the Queen of Heaven. That's a no-no. Read Jeremiah 10:12. Well, I don't know, grasshoppers. You may not want to read Jeremiah 10:12 because, he is talking about your Christmas tree also in that chapter 10, I think it is. So you may learn how much of an abomination that thing is to the Most High, and putting the gold and silver balls on it, and the tinsel, which is the sperm, and the balls of the testicles, because guess what? That pointed Christmas tree you have in there, in your house once a year, or for longer really, represents the uncircumcised head of the penis of Nimrod. The one that made the Tower of Babel. That's pretty famous. He said he was gonna, he called himself God on earth, and the G-man on earth, and so he was going to like climb up to heaven on his tower and take over. And so the legend has it, he gets up on, you can only go so far with a tower, especially in those days made out of bricks. But anyway, he gets up on his big old tower and he proclaims himself God, and then he shoots the arrow up in the heavens as if he was going to make it. And Yah the Father puts blood on the arrows and sends them back down to him. So he thinks that he got somebody up in heaven. Oh man, they were dumber than nails back then. Yep, good old Nimrod. Yep, good old Nimrod. He was quite the man. Some people think that Esau killed him and chopped him up, and there is some evidence for that. And others think that Ham went and did it. But nonetheless, he was killed for, claiming himself God. And then he was there's a little birdie in there. There he is. Or she. Anyway, so yeah, they chopped him up, sent the erected penis, because penises go erect when we're dead, I guess. Not much use. And Semiramis, his wife, oh man, get ready for this one. Semiramis, his wife, Queen of Heaven, she claims that she got the penis and did the thing and got pregnant with her son, whose name was Tammuz. And Tammuz was the new king of Babylon, because she was scared of losing her position as queen of Babylon. So she made up this story that she was impregnated, But then again, there's another story that says she said that she was impregnated by the rays of the sun coming from the hands of her husband. Now, have you ever seen the J-Man, or that other one they call the Queen of Heaven, the J-Man's mother? Then pictures, they'll be shown with rays of sun coming out of their hands. That's a direct reference to Semiramis and Nimrod, and how she claimed that Nimrod impregnated her to have her son, the new king. And that's what started the so-called Trinity. And real Luciferian. So other stories is that this erect penis was sent down to Egypt. And to honor Nimrod, they constructed an obelisk. An obelisk has been known to be a phallic symbol for many, many, many years, but people just didn't know that it was Nimrod's. And that the top of it, if you've ever looked at it, is the covered head of the penis, and it looks like a Christmas tree, a Christmas tree. People, just so you grasshoppers will know, mass, the word Christmas came from the French as Christ Mass. 2 words, M-A-S-S-E. So it was masse, or just mass, because you don't pronounce the E in French, the last letter. Anyway, so it then got shortened into Christ Mass. Now, Mass means sacrifice in French, in Latin. So what are they celebrating every 12/25? What are they celebrating? What are you celebrating, pagans? Listen, grasshoppers, you're celebrating his death. You're celebrating his sacrifice. You are not celebrating his birth, because there's no chance that he was born in 12/25. But all the sun gods were, because that's when the winter solstice is. So that might be something you want to look into, because it's actually one of the lies that you inherited from your fathers. And in them, there is no prophet. That's Jeremy, 16:19. Anyway, he was born in on the first day of Sukkot, that is in the fall, and he was born in a tent called a sukkah, because every man had to come up to Jerusalem at that time of the year, which is generally your 10th month, and I think it's the 7th month of the Creator's calendar. And anyway, so they come up to Jerusalem. They have to build a tent to remember the wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, and they have to live in it, the men, for 8 days. Now, the women don't have to live in the sukkah, the tent. They can live in the inn. But if you got all those families coming up to Jerusalem, there was well over 1 million of them coming up to Jerusalem, building a sukkah. And the women, the rich women, of course, would, like like a convention, the rooms fill up fast. So you get there laid on a donkey, you ain't going to find a room. That's why Miriam, his mother, had to go to his stepfather's sukkah, Yosef. You might know him as Joseph. Anyway, and that's where she gave the birth. She did not give the birth in a manger. There were not 3 kings, there were 3 gifts. And those came a year later, when he was a child. Because Yosef gave the offering of two turtle doves, which is the poor man's offering, for the cleansing of his wife after she gave birth. So, if you know a little Hebrew culture, you might understand what really happened and change your pagan ways. Okay, that's enough. Adios, grasshoppers.